Hey everyone, welcome back. So, New York City's Restaurant Week is one of the most highly anticipated celebrations of dining throughout the city, currently running through February 13th, with prefix programs inviting diners to sample the incredible array of eateries that make up NYC's culinary culture. Our next guest represents a 92 years old family-owned chocolate company from Puerto Rico that is a staple within the Caribbean culture. Having their first restaurant in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, make headlines in USA Today as best restaurant in the Caribbean with their chocolatey accent on our favorite Puerto Rican and Dominican comfort foods. They recently opened a second location in the South Bronx that is also serving up everything with a chocolate twist. Please welcome the New Bronx's Chocobar Cortés Caribbean Chocolate Everything Restaurant Executive Director, Carlos Cortés. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Rhina. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for making our lives so much sweeter.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, bravo for opening up in the South Bronx. Okay, so let's start with why the South Bronx?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that question. And the reason is, Chocolate Cortés is a 93-year-old now chocolate manufacturing company based in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. We're a heritage brand. If you're Puerto Rican and Dominican, most likely you grew up with our products. So for us, it was super important that when we came to New York with the restaurant, we went to where our community was, and we found the ideal place for that in the South Bronx, which, the Bronx is one of the strongholds of the Puerto Rican and Dominican communities. And also it's just such a great neighborhood. We're so happy to be here. We love it here.
Well, we're happy you're here, and definitely a really nice area too, because it's up and coming. And there's a what are they considering that now? Sobro, right by the water.
Yeah, I don't know about Sobro. I think Mott Haven is the right term.
I get it. We're gonna be politically correct. And so, but let's talk everything chocolate, because I gotta tell you, once I started reviewing all of the actual menu and the drinks, I was like, oh my gosh, how were you able to come up with a way to insert chocolate into everything?
Well, that is kudos to our chef, Ricardo Valdia, our executive chef in Puerto Rico, who created most of the recipes in the menu. And then also our head chef here, Chef Maria Martinez. The thing that people think about chocolate, they just think like candy and sweet. But the reality is chocolate is an ingredient like everything else. And it's just a matter of, being creative and experimenting and being open-minded too about trying new flavor combinations.
Right, like chocolate butter. I don't think I've ever heard of chocolate butter, but I'm going to tell you this. I am so looking forward to trying out that grilled cheese that is coated with chocolate butter. Who would have thought of combining something like that?
Well, Puerto Ricans have known for generations that chocolate and cheese are a beautiful combination. We just happened to put it in a grilled cheese sandwich. But yeah, it's a tradition, drinking our hot chocolate with the cheese and the crackers. So the same ingredients, we just kind of incorporated it in a new way.
And so, and what about this chalupitas?
Chalupitas de mofongo, yes. Puerto Rican and Dominican food is amazing. It's delicious. I love my rice and beans. It's my favorite thing to eat. But at the same time, we didn't want to just be another Puerto Rican or Dominican restaurant. We wanted to do something a little bit different, elevate some of the cuisine. And so instead of just having mofongo, which by the way, we do have, and it's delicious, we made a taco shell out of it. And it comes with our smoked pork and our chocolate hot sauce and our guac, which has shavings of chocolate in it. It's just about, creating an experience and having people leave the restaurant being like, wow, that was special.
And I know before we got on air, we were talking about the healthy dishes, right? Like eating a salad. However, the salad is drizzled with a chocolate dressing, you mentioned.
Yep, it's a chocolate vinaigrette and it's really good.
If you notice, I cannot take the smile off my face.
Yeah, gonna have to do round two at the restaurant.
Exactly. And then let's talk about the drinks, because you offer everything under the sun: chocolate martinis, even regular chocolate drinks.
Right?
So it's not just for adults. They serve brunch, dinner, right?
That's correct. We have a full coffee shop and chocolate shop that's like in a separate part where you can just walk in, buy some chocolates, buy some coffee to go. And then we have a restaurant and bar, and it's for everyone. Chocolate Cortés historically has always been about sharing happy moments with your family through, sitting around the table with hot chocolate in the morning, at dinner, after dinner, during hurricanes, during funerals. It really is about sharing happy moments together. And that's what we're trying also to offer and to celebrate at the restaurant. We want people to sit around with their loved ones and just have a good time.
And so, before we go, let's just share with everyone the initiative that you also have with the Cortes Foundation, because I know you also advocate arts, and let's just share everyone that whole process. 'Cause I know you did something with Ed Miranda, right?
Edgardo Miranda, yes.
Yeah.
He is the creator of La Borinqueña. She is an Afro female Puerto Rican superhero, the world's first. And she fights against social injustice, and she fights against environmental destruction. But she also is preserving our history and our culture through the medium of comics. And so when we collaborated with him, where we created 4 special edition chocolate bars that on the inside have a comic strip that each one kind of tells a little bit about the history of the company. It was just a beautiful, collaboration between 2 institutions that have the same values and interest in really celebrating our culture, promoting our values. And so Fundación Cortés, our foundation, our mission is to educate and inspire with our passion for the arts of the Caribbean. And on top of the restaurant in Puerto Rico, we have the gallery space where the foundation lives. And mostly what we do is we use a curated Caribbean art collection as the educational tools in the classroom, mostly with kids, exposing them to the arts and teaching them that art is a superpower.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. And thank you for sharing that with our viewers. And before we go, let's just share with everyone what that's been like for you to end up in this position within your family business. Because I know this wasn't exactly a straight route for you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a roller coaster. I was going to be a doctor. I went to medical school, but then pivoted and was able to finish with a business degree as well. And this was all kind of happening during Hurricane Maria and during the financial crisis in Puerto Rico. So really, my motivation, my passion was to be able to help Puerto Rico and to celebrate our culture somehow. And obviously I had the beautiful opportunity to be able to do that with my family company. So it's been amazing. Family businesses are tough, but they're also really beautiful. And I'm really happy. It's been challenging too because of the pandemic. Obviously, we had a whole 2-year hiatus, and that was a very kind of stressful and scary time for somebody in the restaurant industry.
Our business, yes. Mm-hmm.
But we move forward. We're a 92-year-old company that has gone through a lot of very scary times in our past, and we're still here. And that's the message that that's the message that I told myself, that why I needed to keep going. But that's also the message that we want to promote, because we as Puerto Ricans, we as Dominicans, we as the Latinx culture, we need to continue pushing forward and putting our best foot forward.
and preserving our traditions, because your chocolate actually reminds me of my grandmother, because that was my grandmother's thing. My grandmother is from Puerto Rico. So while I wasn't, here, now it's accessible, but when my grandmother was alive, this chocolate was definitely in the household. So it's lovely that you're able to preserve it and move it into the next generation, and revitalize it in another way, right? Because it's almost like,
Exactly.
hey, it's a new generation.
Exactly. It's all about celebrating who you are and where you come from, but then also reevaluating and evolving those traditions so that they continue on to the future.
That's wonderful. And then, of course, I'm going to assume your place is going to be really busy for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we will be busy. We will be announcing on our social media how to make a reservation for actual Valentine's Day. But then, during the weekend, right before, it's going to be busy anyways. So if you would like to come through, just make sure we're open 11 to 7. Get there early.
You heard it from the executive director himself, Carlos Cortés. And we thank you for bringing it here to our viewers. And you guys, I can't stress it enough. If you're interested in a chocolatey dining experience, check out Chocobar, which is located at 141 Alexander Avenue in the South Bronx, in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. And if you're interested in more information, you can visit chocobarcortés.com and check them out on Instagram at Chocobar Cortés BX. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to hear about the rise of Serbian women in the contemporary art scene. Don't go anywhere.